I'm not rich, but yesterday I thought of it. I bought 4 new tires for my 2001 RAV4. In the past, I bought them one at a time, resulting in uneven wear, poor handling, and the possibility of slip or spin out. Yeah. But I am alive by a thin bit of rubber and a condom my dad would not use. Alice got a flyer I had in my apartment about a conference I was going to. The joy of living. She laughed as she read the title out loud, as though it was not possible. And I felt the sadness of it, in my inability to be a better dad.
Wait, Gerard, do you have any interest in reading that again?
Sure.
Okay. So I'd like to hear it again. Even a little more slowly.
Alice got a flyer I had in my apartment about a conference I was going to. The joy of living, she laughed as she read the title out loud, as though it was not possible. And I felt the sadness of it in my inability to be a better dad.
Yeah, that was really beautiful. And like, I said this to someone a couple weeks ago, I think, that there's like this competition for like short, basically it's like a novel in one sentence. I forget what it's called, you know, but like flash fiction, maybe, I don't know. It's like a famous thing, but like that struck me like that. Like it's like I just read a book and that like one little thing, really beautiful. So after Gerard, Garrett. Garrett, come on up.
Yeah, I agree about, well, I like the first one, that twist with the condom. And then the last one left me with like goosebumps for about 12 seconds. But this one is, laying on a bench in some anonymous town, I've grown nameless in my aimless wanderings around. Laying on a bench in any American town, I count the constellations I know. 1. Orion left me stranded, so I couldn't make it to my usual 2. Only the Big Dipper overhead, which is dripping from its ladle. Only the Big Dipper and me. But it's just barely raining, so I close my eyes to sleep. The dripping Big Dipper and me. And then I was gonna read one about my tendency to leave, because I like to leave things a lot. But then there were a lot of like sweet love poems tonight, so instead I decided to read a letter I wrote to a person once after we had a brief spring love affair in Florida. So it's about love bugs. I don't know if anyone familiar with Georgia to Florida. There's a shit ton of love bugs. And one summer, this particular summer after my brief spring love affair, they were incredibly more intense than usual. I wrote a poem about it. It was no wonder to me that this love bug season seemed to be more intense than any I had seen before. We let loose a love in the air that needed a place to go. We let it build in us, let it grow between us, and we let it free when there was no us to grow between. It hummed in the air of the places we had shared, and it called out to be consumed. An invisible fog, like humidity leaving slick traces on benches where we sat, beads of moisture on blades of grass where we laid, as if a sprinkler itself followed us in every outing. We had like one sexual encounter, he was behind a shed, and right when it finished, the sprinkler kicked on, like poetic comedy, and we had to like run out from behind the shed with our clothes. So yeah, so that's a little inside joke. The whole earth hummed with the vibrations we had grown, had grown and abandoned. A love like ours can't simply lay outside a body. So the bugs came. They flew through the air and ate our song right out of the sky. It took like a swarm from Tampa to Miami to devour all essence from our affection. And still I believed they could not finish the job, for there was a feast more grand than even bugs meant for love could withstand. For all one could take was just one taste before they themselves were consumed. Their fucking was our fucking. It was our shared breath in their bodies. It was our desires in their guts. My sperm reborn as a tornado of insects, tasting the air. Tasting you in the air. My skin made of a billion insects, seeking the billion more that was yours. They were my hands on your body. Their love-making was our love-making. They came to devour our abandoned love before it could sour the air with dissatisfaction. But they were devoured instead and made into puppets to be played by the love-left longing for a home. I sat in the swarm and smiled. It was nice to watch us dance once more. And then this I wrote today, and I haven't really reread it since I wrote it. And it's kind of different than usual, but yeah. She wanted me to smack her ass, asked to be manhandled, left rattled. But at that time in my life, I found it hard to stay hard doing anything I'd seen a gnarly man do in porn. I picture their menacing, grimacing, scrunched meat faces, curled lips, and lipless eyes, the way they parted their lovers' thighs as if only opening a mirror from which to view their masculinity from. Not to be mistaken for mutual lovemaking, but just aggressive masturbation, running the bases, a 20-minute pump for the swole vein bulge, not to feel her flesh, not feeling her flesh, but just flexing for angles. My fickle penis flirted with ferocious, but remained faithful to flaccid. And he, him, uncomfortable with the sexuality of men. I'd smack her ass and start to go soft. She'd ask if I'm in my head again. Then sometimes she'd pull me into hers, to pull me back out of mine. Sometimes we'd just lay entwined for a time. But she had a 4 orgasm minimum per date. Stiff cock or not, cramped hands, tongue lunges, typically all the above with a side order of a vibrator. Many times we made love with my penis like a windsock on the windless day. Women don't need cocks to come, and men don't need penile penetration to make love. I'm a bit more comfortable now with my lustful, raunchy urges, and I accept the fact that I like to smack ass. But I've made a switch to sensual, intimate, ethical porn, where there's no cops or jocks or maintenance men, no teachers or principals, stepdads or father-in-laws, no stepbrothers or delivery drivers, no pizza at all, in fact. There's no guards or presidents or abuses of power, no dealers, some squealers, no rest stop truckers, certainly some wet sloppy gushers, no horny stepmothers teaching their daughters to slobber on horny stepbrothers. Mostly, though, it's that menacing meat-faced grimace that I'm glad to miss. That menacing grimace that screams, "Hi, I'm simply aggressively masturbating my masculinity against another's flesh. Then I'm gonna beat off on their face to establish ownership or some other generic macho bullshit." Because as my hand grips firmly my lover, and our mouths come close for a kiss, I sometimes can't help but wonder if they've ever seen that face. And that's a thought that'll take the wind out of any windsock.
Jeez, that was good.
Oh, that was so descriptive. I cheated that. And such different tones to each of them, it's really beautiful. And so helpful to hear about sexuality and experiences of sex in a measured way or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's really vulnerable, I think, for most people to talk about. So thank you. Evie Amaro. Oh yes. Come on up. It's gonna be okay.
Sometimes when you find yourself with no support, no backup, no one there to lift you up, it is because, my dearest one, you are to do all of that for you. You are the one to do what isn't done for you by others, for others. Realize this and learn to always become stronger. You are a leader.
Made me cry. I love you.
Us leaders, us spiritual leaders, we aren't strong in what we preach or believe in forced likable thinking, feeling, believing. We are strong in what we believe to preach because we must remain solid with or without your agreement, with or without you.
That was great. Yeah, and you're so sweet and delightful, and you have a lovely presence on stage. Did you say, I write down some things in people's work, one thing from everybody. Did you say you are to do for you what others won't do? Is that what you said? Which is great. You are the Okay. I remember how you said it. Okay, Jethro, come on up.
Has anyone else seen, not seen Stranger Things, season 3 yet? Who wants to? I won't ruin it. Anyone else not want me to ruin it?
Spoiler alert, Stranger Things 3. I want to hear it. Alright.
Say what? Stand, Billy Hargrove. Be a man. Thought you'd make a perfect life plan. Nothing, or at least not much, happened like you planned. Though you did your best. Now, here you are. You have a touch, you're a star. Nowhere left to retreat. Plant your feet. Here it comes. Take it through the chest. And at the end, it feels silly and sweet and very much like love. Fit, or F-E-A-T, bitter, sweet, which is it? Which will it be? Which was it? Bitterness, sweetness? Honestly, nothing exists but completeness. Oh, now, the previous part, it was beautiful. It was very much like that. Pan. This is Peter Pan, Star Wars. Second starts on the right and straight down till morning. Skywalker loves to fly. It's easier to fly. Do or do not, there is no try. Go ahead, farm / lost boy. Open her up, let her go, and crow. Spells out every yell like Joe Cocker. And but then, all too soon. That's no moon. It's okay, with a little help from your friends. Mom, S, and Obi-Wan, and even your father. You'll have Vader, Emperor Hook, and the rest on the run. How much time do I have? One more. Okay, I'll read it. I read this one before. Was it out goes my fingers, or off my heart? The pen fell from moments ago. Thank you.
Thank you so much for reading, Jessica. I always like get very my attention gets very like still and precise when you read, and it's great. And I think we have one more person who I'm wondering if are they in this space? Because I think it's music.
It's invisible.
Okay.
It's invisible ink.
It's invisible ink. Come on up. And I'm so sorry because I love you, but what's your name again? I'm sorry. Forgive me. Shannon is going to play for us. Yeah.
Gotta get in the mood. Not that mood. Everybody chant sadness or something. Not supposed to make me smile. Going backwards here. No, seriously. Say your poem again, leader. Maybe it's because she's coming down, down from her lost head sweeps. And tears of sound only streaming down, down her face. I might be making some of this up. You've longed for me, I've longed for you. Someone tell